but Biden has been a catastrophe. So I will be voting for Trump. Having said that, I stand by what I said in my suspension speech. Trump would be smart to reach out to the millions of people who voted for me and continue to support me and not assume that they're just going to be with him. And I genuinely hope he does that.
Oh, there you go. What do you think? Val, you want to take this? She's voting for Trump.
I don't know if I should take this, given that I was predicting approximately 5 minutes ago that she wouldn't endorse today. Was that in response to a question, Connell? Do you know,
they asked her who would be.
Well,
the question, as I was told, with a little birdie in my ear, right when Tia was talking, the question was who's better suited to be in the White House, like who would do a better job, essentially. And she, as you heard, she was saying both sides. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting that she put it in as clear-cut terms as that. Now, she did leave the reservations that she had about Trump there. She has said those kinds of things a number of times before, but I wasn't necessarily expecting her to say that clearly, though, of course, as someone, to Tia's point, she wants to have a future in Republican politics. She couldn't really endorse Biden, So
is that an endorsement of Trump, Tia? She said she'll be voting for him. She didn't tell everybody else, but, that sounds like an endorsement to me.
Yeah. I think that's as close as you're probably going to get, and that's as good as Trump will probably want. He's probably going to have great things to say about Nikki Haley on social media later today. In all
caps, yeah.
In all caps. As soon as you all started playing her soundbite, and I heard her framing the presidential context in the presidential race in the context of the economy, I knew that at the end of her statement there was going to be, and therefore I think Trump would be better. And you hear that from a lot of Republicans who have criticized Trump, including, for example, Governor Brian Kemp in Georgia. They'll say, yeah, we've got a lot of problems with Trump. However, when you compare him to Biden on things that matter, economy, immigration, other types of policies, they think that Trump is better than Biden. You hear that a lot from people who are almost coming up with ways to justify how they can still support Trump despite their own public criticisms or falling out with Trump.
Right.
So Nikki Haley now falls in that category.
This is what's going to decide it, right? And now you think about it, people going through this process that Nikki Haley just described, who, obviously don't love a lot of things about the former president, but see him in a binary way as a better choice for them than the current president. We've had Chris Sununu on today, right? The governor of New Hampshire. He says pretty much the same thing. He's not an elected official, but I'll just use the example. Our buddy Geraldo Rivera was on a few minutes ago. He's the opposite. He says he's voted for Republicans in the past, but because of January 6th, he can't vote for Trump. So you just wonder how many people are on each side of that discussion, and now we know which side Haley's on. Quote, I will be voting for Trump. But that's the discussion I'm sure a lot of people are having with, essentially themselves, Nichole.
Yes, absolutely. It is worth noting that for now, a couple of decades, there has been this increasing polarization where there isn't really that much crossover at all between what Republicans and Democrats believe. That obviously redounds to former President Trump's advantage right now among Republicans because it takes a lot. They would have to stretch a long way to vote for President Biden, and of course similar for Democrats who are dissatisfied with the president. So at the end of the day, the values do tend to line up for Republican voters with their candidate, even if they have concerns about January the 6th or the future of American democracy or the former president's demeanor and belligerence.
I heard it here live. Good job there by Claudine in the control room, realizing what she was talking about, so we got it on. I will be voting for Trump, quote from Nikki Haley. Interesting stuff. Nichole, Tia, thanks to both of you. Quick break. We'll be right back on NewsNation Now. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.